Hello gorgeous, welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new. If you're new, it means so much if you click that subscribe button to join my YouTube family. I am finally making this video and I'm hoping it will be useful to anyone that is out there that has just given birth or about to. I am going to be sharing my postpartum essentials today, and I'm telling you, these things helped me so much during that time. I just uploaded my labor and delivery story time, so if you want to see that, I'll link it above and have it down below. But in that video, I basically talk about how I had a really rough postpartum experience. I had an episiotomy, and on top of that, after I gave birth, I had to get another procedure done where I got a lump removed. It ended up being a lot worse than we thought, and it was near that area in the like inner growing area, inner thigh area, so it was the worst location possible, but we had to get it removed. That made my recovery so much worse, plus the episiotomy was pretty painful, and just overall all the other aches and pains that you get during labor and delivery. So for at least 2 weeks, I was pretty much bedridden. I was in so much pain. It was pretty excruciating. I couldn't even really stand up. I felt like I was gonna pass out. I could barely pick up my daughter because, like I said, I was in so much pain. I felt like any movement, it made me feel really lightheaded, really dizzy, and really faint. So I had to be in bed pretty much most of the day for the first 2 weeks, and it was so hard. And I feel like a lot of people don't always talk about that, and you know, everyone's experience is different. Every also birth is different. I had a pretty nice delivery, I would say. It was really my postpartum that was really hard. Happy I had a lot of these items already in my house, because I tried to basically use anything to make me feel better, because you aren't given any medication that you're allowed to take when you're in this pain. So that's what makes it even harder. You can only take Tylenol, especially if you're breastfeeding and all that. They don't give you any medication. So you pretty much have to try and find natural things or anything that you could find to help alleviate the pain. So I will link everything down below. I mentioned I didn't have a C-section, so I don't really have much for a cesarean birth. So just to throw that out there. With that being said, let's just jump into it. So I went ahead and made a list, because let me tell you, after becoming a mom and getting pregnant, I have become very forgetful, and I'm still very forgetful. I blame it on the mama brain, also my pregnancy brain. So lists are my new best friend. I'm gonna kind of go in order on what I used first. So first things first, right when you get out of birth, they put a diaper on you. So you need to be prepared and buy diapers. So I'm not gonna be able to show you guys everything because a lot of it is already used up, but I will try to find and pop up a photo, or if not, I will have it linked down below for you guys in the description box. But I do have a few things that I can share with you guys here next to me. And the first thing that was essential were diapers. And the one that I used was called the Always Discreet Postpartum Underwear for women with maximum protection. You are going to bleed after giving birth, and you are actually going to bleed for quite a while. Everyone is going to be different. I bled for up to over 5 weeks. It was almost 6 weeks. I didn't realize it was going to be that long. I didn't use diapers the whole time, but when you first give birth, you're going to just want diapers. They're so convenient. These ones were actually pretty comfortable, and I really liked them for the beginning of the first like week or two. I was wearing these diapers, so I totally recommend them. So much easier than putting a bunch of pads on, and they're just easier to have a diaper. So making sure that you have diapers on hand. And speaking of right after you give birth, right away after you go to the washroom the first time and you keep going to the washroom, you are going to have to clean yourself by using a peri bottle. And this one is the best, so much better than the ones that they give you at the hospital. It is the Frida peri bottle. I feel like everyone talks about this one. It's super affordable and just so much easier, so I recommend it. Just the way that the hook is, it's so much more convenient. You're going to have to use this every single time you go to the washroom to clean yourself down there at the beginning. So buying one of these and having it with you right in your hospital bag is going to be really great, and then using this every single day when you're home. This was really nice. It was very easy to use. Right when you're in the hospital, I recommend, if you can, ask your nurses to make you a patsicle. I went ahead and had these on hand, and these are the Frida Mom Instant Ice Maxi Pads. This was a lifesaver to give you instant relief down there. It basically is just a big maxi pad, you break it in half and it cools down. It's like a little ice pack for down there, and you just put it on top of your diaper, your underwear, whatever you have, and it's just going to relieve down there. But one thing that I was doing when I was in the hospital is you could actually ask your nurses if you can have a padsicle. Obviously all hospitals and where you live around, it's all different, but where I gave birth, I was asking for a padsicle so I could use that more, and they would literally make you one. Would have like an ice pack kind of thing and make you a whole padsicle, and then you could put it in your diaper, and that helped relieve the pain so much, at least for that little moment. I just kept going through these like crazy when I got home because it just gave me a little bit of relief. I said I was in so much pain. I was like looking for anything to just relieve me down there for a bit. So these came in handy, and I went through quite a few boxes of these, not going to lie. Another thing are the Tux cleansing pads. So you can actually put these on top of your maxi pads from the Freedom Mom, or if you make a little DIY padsicle, you could put these on top. Actually, when I was in the hospital and I did ask for a padsicle, they actually did put these on top. These are really great because they help cool, soothe, and freshen the affected area. It's also great with any like personal hygiene or itch or hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids is a thing after giving birth. No idea, I did not know about this until I was in the moment. So yeah, a little TMI, but these will come in handy. Another thing that unfortunately I wasn't able to do due to my lump procedure, which really sucked, but if you are dealing with like hemorrhoids or just even after giving birth, Epsom salt baths are really great. I couldn't take an Epsom salt bath until 6 weeks because I had to wait till my lump procedure was healed. I wasn't allowed to soak into water. Even like when I was taking a shower, I had to like cover the area because I couldn't get that area wet. So it was so hard. But I recommend taking Epsom salt baths and just getting a big tub of Epsom salts. I had that before I gave birth. I made sure to buy a bag of Epsom salts, but unfortunately I couldn't use it until much later. But that would have helped relieve the pain so much, just soaking in a warm bath with your Epsom salts. Now I'm gonna move on to when you're not bleeding as much. So of course, as the weeks and days go by, you aren't going to bleed as much as when you first gave birth. So you're not going to want to use those diapers anymore. So then I moved on to using the Frida Mom postpartum like boy shorts. Those are disposable and I use them all up, so I'm not able to show you guys, but I will pop up a photo. But they were so comfortable. I bought like underwear for postpartum before I gave birth, and they kept like riding up even though they were like boy short style, and they were just really bad. I didn't like them, so I just kept using the Freedom Mom disposable boy shorts, and they were really great. And I would put my pads on there. I even would put one of the Freedom Mom Instant Maxi pads when I would use it, and I loved those. They were really nice once you gave birth to use those as your underwear. Another thing is you are going to have to use pads quite often after. Something that I realized is wearing pads for that long can be really annoying. It could get itchy and just uncomfortable. So I recommend getting softer pads. I didn't know this until I was in the moment. So one that I recommend is the Always Pure Cotton with Flex Foam pads for women. It's really great for heavy absorbency. It has the wings and it's just so much softer than the ones that I had already on hand that I typically use, because it was getting so uncomfortable to wear so many pads constantly for that long. It was just getting really itchy and just it's really rough. So these are just so much softer, and I totally recommend having a box on hand and maybe even a couple boxes, because like I said, you may be bleeding for some weeks, so you might have to be wearing pads for quite a bit because you can't wear tampons or anything like that until your 6-week appointment when you get when you go back to your OB and they say that you're all good to go. Another thing that was really useful for me was a heating pad. So I just have those like reusable water kind of bottle heating pads, but you can use an actual heating pad. I just recommend having some form of heat because heat really did help relieve a lot of pain. Actually, also another thing is right when you give birth and you're done in your home, you kind of sometimes get a little bit of contractions, not to the point where it's as extreme as when you were in active labor, but your uterus is shrinking back to normal size, so you'll kind of feel a little bit of contractions, kind of like period cramps. So heating pads really help with that. And also if you are breastfeeding, all that, it will kind of like, you'll feel sometimes like some small period cramps come on. So I really like to use the heating pad at the beginning, and also just to help with those aches and pains. I found that the heat really helped. I found ice sometimes helped as well, but heat really helped with a lot of the pain. And those are mainly the main things that I was constantly going through and using during my postpartum. Next few things, I want to give some suggestions and essentials for your chest, because especially if you are breastfeeding or you breastfed for little and you're trying to get rid of your milk, these are some of my essentials when it comes to the chest. So the first thing is this little heating pad. So this is designed to be put into like your bras. This is from the brand Lanoche, I believe. Lanoche. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I will have it linked down below. But I really do like this brand for things when it comes to breastfeeding or your chest. So this is really great because you could put it into the freezer and have it as an ice pack, which I honestly use this as an ice pack at some point too. But I love this for using this as a heating pad, where you put this in the microwave, you heat it up, and you use it here, especially if you get engorgement or you have blocked ducts. It's really great to put heat on your chest. It also helps to stimulate your chest to try and produce more milk. When you do use it in the freezer, it is pretty cool at first, but I find that when it comes to like keeping it cold, it doesn't stay cold that long. But with the heat, it works really well. This was like one of those rush orders I ended up ordering after and realizing I needed this. Another thing that I want to suggest that wasn't really useful for me, but I know is useful for a lot of women out there, and these are the little pads for any leaks that you have. Unfortunately, I struggle a lot with my supply. I'm definitely an undersupplier. I've pretty much tried everything. I do struggle with PCOS, and I feel like a lot of it has to do with that. So I really haven't had any leaks or anything or had to use this, but a lot of people love this because a lot of women do leak and leak through their clothes and stuff, so that will help with that. Another thing when it comes to the chest, I think it's really great to just have an easy supportive bra, and I love the Mom Cozy bras. I'm obsessed with them. I had another pack that I bought off Amazon, which I liked, but after trying the Mom Cozy nursing bras, I've never looked back. I love them so much. It honestly is a little bit more pricier than the ones I bought from Amazon, but they work so much better. They hold, like, especially if you're pumping, they hold the pumps so much better, and they just hold the girls so much better. So I really do love their nursing bras, and I recommend having a really comfortable nursing bra. And honestly, they're really comfortable even after, if you're not nursing, to just have them during postpartum because they're so comfortable. The last thing is also creams for the nipple area. So I love the brand, the Lanoche brand, when it comes to their cream. Trust me, you need this. Put this in your hospital bag, especially if you are going to feed. You can apply it every single time before you breastfeed or after, and it's going to help with dryness, the cracks that might happen, peeling of the skin that happen. You don't really hear people talk about the after effects and how difficult sometimes nursing can be, and it can be fairly painful, and especially if your milk hasn't come in. So using that every single time is a lifesaver, and I made the mistake of not using it right away and not understanding how important and how good that is, but that stuff is good. I don't know why I can't find it this second, because I do actually still have. I actually went ahead and bought another one. I used a full tube up and I had to buy another one because I love it so much. So I totally recommend that cream. It is natural, so it's fine to put on before they nurse or anything like that. But it's good to have that because I learned the hard way that you might start cracking, you might bleed, you might start getting scabs. TMI, I know, but we're all moms here. If someone didn't tell you, you don't really know about these things until you're in the moment and it happens. And that's pretty much what happened to me. So these are all my postpartum essentials that just made my postpartum a little bit easier and made it a little bit more bearable and just helped me a little bit. So I hope this is useful for you guys. Everything I recommend, I 100% swear by and think helped me so much during that time, and I don't know what I would do without any of them, to be honest. So I will link everything down below like I said, but let me know if you guys are first-time moms too, or you're about to give birth. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. I will link down below my pregnancy playlist, like I said, as well as my labor and delivery story if you guys are just curious to hear about the whole process and everything that happened to me. And with that being said, I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!